very important that we bring to your attention that moving into this session, we were all very excited about the groundswell of pro-life support from across our state, both in grassroots and in the legislature. Subsequently, we would come to see a plethora of strong legislation brought forth by an incredible number of pro-life legislators. And I want to list those out for you. A late-term abortion ban, a life at conception bill, a ban to prohibit a health benefit exchange, a bill to establish protocol on medication abortions, also known as webcam abortions, defunding of abortion providers, an act relating to reporting of waivers granted from abortion notification requirements for pregnant minors, a right to life amendment to the Iowa Constitution that the right to life is the most paramount right. And over in the Senate, we had a companion joint resolution to H.R. J3 to amend the Constitution, an abortion coverage ban, informed consent, outpatient abortion clinics, abortion drug reports, late-term abortion ban. And what made it through funnel? In the House, the late-term abortion ban, the act relating to the reporting of waivers granted from abortion notification, with the life at conception added on as an amendment, and the bill to prohibit a health benefit exchange enacted if Obamacare takes place, and nothing in the Senate. It must be said that while we are very happy that we have each of these bills, it is also distressing to know what we lost. Webcam abortions remain a reality Monday through Friday all across Iowa. Abortion clinics remain unregulated, and women remain uninformed, ill-equipped to make one of the most devastating choices she is ever confronted with. Abortion providers continue to receive our tax dollars, and honestly, we as a pro-life community are responsible for this. We move forward and address now what we can still accomplish this session, what we must accomplish.
We have a small window of opportunity to get at least one abortion bill or pro-life bill, and maybe two. We're running out of time, and it's going to take us some time to get them through the Senate, and the longer the House delays, the less time we have to act on these critical bills. I don't know what the delay is all about, but it's time to get off the dime and get it done.
House File 5, also known as the fetal pain legislation, is currently in subcommittee. In reviewing the bill, there are many good things within this legislation. We know from the research that there is clear and convincing evidence that babies within the womb feel pain. An important statement is made in Section 5 that states, "Nothing in this chapter shall be construed as determining life to begin at 20 weeks gestation. Instead, it is recognized that life begins at conception." In fitting with our mission, Iowans for Life sees a value in House File 153 in recognizing the rights of all human life from conception to natural death. Now is the time for all such legislation to be passed without delay. While Iowa is faced with many important issues, nothing can compare to issues regarding life and death.
My name is Tom Chapman, and I'm the Executive Director of the Iowa Catholic Conference. The Iowa Catholic Conference strongly encourages the legislature to pass House File 5 and other pro-life bills this session. How did this happen? We're losing the equivalent every day in Iowa of a small kindergarten class. We believe women deserve better than abortion, and society can do better to assist them.
And yet we stand unified on this issue. Let me make something just perfectly clear. If HF 5, the fetal pain bill, does not go through, Carhartt will come into Iowa, period.
Bottom line is, House File 5 will save lives, and the time is pressing and the time is urgent. It is imperative that we work to pass this crucial piece of legislation. We have technology today that tells us that babies feel the pain at 20 weeks when they are aborted. And for a humane society to allow this is unconscionable. Republicans don't want late-term abortion. Democrats don't want late-term abortion. Rich don't want it. Poor don't want it. Urban don't want it. Rural don't want it. Self-employed don't want it. Business people don't want it. Veterans don't want it. Women don't want it. Children don't want it. Adults don't want it. At ground zero, which right now is the Council Bluffs metro area, there is no confusion. There is only complete unanimity.
But we had quite a phenomenal turnout in an election last year, and we want to see some results of that election. We're pleased to see the action that has happened in the House. We encourage more to take place, and we We want to spur on those friends in the Senate. We hear that, well, you just heard, that this is an issue that goes across both party lines. That's not noble. There is no nobility in aborting babies before they take their first breath. Iowa used to have a slogan that said, "A great place to grow." Wouldn't that be a nice slogan to once again be able to stand on?
Thank you, Robert Dopp, Chairman, Iowa Right to Life Committee. You know, Jill June was recently, Planned Parenthood was recently quoted as saying, they, referring to us, pro-lifers, they're not going to stop chipping away at Roe versus Wade until it's gone. For once, maybe the only time, I'm going to agree with Jill June. We will continue to chip away at it until it's gone. We're not going to stop. We'll never stop until full legal protection is restored for the unborn.
Leroy Carhart is a man who has for decades aggressively and relentlessly pursued physical destruction of the most vulnerable of our society, our unborn, children who have never taken their first breath. In 1997, Mr. Carhart found himself in court. His testimony was required because it was discovered that the University of Nebraska Medical Center was conducting experiments using brain tissue from children he had aborted. He stated in his testimony that there were times he did not remove the fetus, the little one intact. He acknowledged that as he brought the babies partially out, they were still alive, that their hearts were still beating. This is infanticide. Under oath, his clinic workers testified that he was performing 6 abortions every 30 minutes, 12 an hour. In just a 4-hour workday, that's 48 abortions a day. In just 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, 144 children lose their lives. Of those, approximately 10 to 20 a week are late-term abortions. He has set his sights on Iowa, on our precious daughters, our sisters, our nieces, our granddaughters and friends, and on the lives of their future children. He opened up shop in December in Maryland. He took over an existing facility in Indiana. Nothing is keeping him from moving into our state if we do not pass a bill banning late-term abortion, period. As I have stated on every available occasion, we are in support of all pro-life legislation that has been introduced this session, all of it. That includes the Life at Conception bill. You have never, nor will ever, hear me say anything other than how important it is to have the conversation when life begins. There's not one individual standing beside me here today, and countless more who couldn't make it, that we are not in this for any other result than to see abortion end. We are all in this to lose our jobs. This is not an ethereal conversation about who is more pro-life, who is more righteous, who is more right. This is not about who is to blame. This is about responsibility. Just as we rush in taking responsibility for the lives in room with tens of thousands of text messages donating to those in desperate need in far-off Japan, it is our responsibility, our obligation, our duty to rescue those who will be scheduled to die at the hands of one like Leroy Carhart or other abortionists. It is our responsibility to block Leroy Carhart at the border. We have an opportunity with a late-term abortion ban to offer a stopgap emergency measure to stop him even before he begins. I stand here side by side today with these organizations, these strong leaders, yet we do not stand here alone. We ask you today to contact your legislators in the next 3 days. Call them, email them, visit with them. Let them know you want better for Iowa. Let them know you support pro-life legislation. And to the legislature, we ask that you support the pro-life legislation put forth. We ask that you protect Iowa from further becoming a safe haven state for late-term abortion. The lives of our future children literally hang in the balance and must be saved from the destruction they face if we simply do nothing.